Happy Thursday, everyone. Let's go over the games happened on Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. The first one is the Raptors. They beat the Charlotte Hornets 97-96. Emmanuel quickly hit a game winner three. He had 21 points, but only two assists. 3 for 11 from three. The Raptors only shot 20% from three this game. RJ Barrett took 25 shots because Brandon Ingram left the game early. Yeah, he has a thumb issue, which shouldn't be serious. Yeah, RJ, he liked those shots if he can. 25 shots in category leagues, right? You really just have him for the points and rebounds. But when everybody is healthy, RJ is not really scoring over 20 consistently every night. Brandon Ingram is the one who would take the most shots. Who had 3 blocks before he left the game. We got to roster Colin Murray Boilers because 15 rebounds here. Pirtle, we don't know when he's going to be back. So they're giving this guy a lot of minutes. Let's go with him. Scotty Bombs, pretty bad game here as well, which is interesting. Consider, Charlotte Hornets, they are not a defensive-minded team, but I guess they really locked in last couple of weeks. LaMelo played just 25 minutes. What are you going to do with him? 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 15 points is okay. Good enough, I guess. Diabate need to be rostered until Ryan Cockbrenner comes back. 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. He just offer you like big man stats. Rebound, really good field goal, right? Won't hurt you anywhere. Get you steals and blocks. Miles Bridges played just 29 minutes, was in a bit of foul trouble. Didn't have Brandon Miller this game either. So Canepo struggled a little bit, 3 for 11, 4 for 17 from the field, 11 points. But Charlotte Hornets got a good core young players, and give them maybe a year or two, they could be really good, in my opinion. So I think that's good. As of late, they started playing more serious, and LaMelo is actually a plus 17 here. The next one is the Detroit Pistons. They beat Chicago 108-93. No surprise here. Josh Giddey was still out. Kobe White, he came off the bench. This game, he missed the game. Just too many injuries with this guy. So Trey Jones started, played 30 minutes. We could always stream him for some assists. 12 assists here, 7 rebounds. That's great. Don Sumo came off the bench, had a good game offensively with 24 points. We could stream him and Kevin Huerter. Vucevic, Huerter had an okay game. Just give you a little bit of everything. Vucevic, 20 points, 16 rebounds. He's still doing this at this age. Just so consistent. And Matas with 1 steal and 4 blocks. With Giddey out, with Kobe White out, Matas, his usage did go up a little bit. So that's good. But still, in fantasy, it's really about the defensive stats he's getting. The scoring is going to come and go. Sometimes, some nights he's going to have a good night. Some nights he's not going to have it. For Detroit, Isaiah Stewart popped off with 31 points. When you play Vucevic, sometimes he doesn't really offer that much resistance. Only 3 rebounds, though. Paul Reed could be a great streamer as well. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Duncan Robinson hit 4 threes, played just 22 minutes. And I'm sorry, they didn't even have Kay Cunningham this game. They started Jaden Ivey, played 20 minutes. It'll be interesting to see what are they going to do with Jaden Ivey. Are they going to eventually have him start? And then try not to stack him with Kay Cunningham, because then he can come off, he can, play with the second unit a little bit more and, facilitate. Duncan Robinson hit 4 threes. Yeah, could be a great streamer. And All-Star Thompson had 3 steals and 2 blocks. This is why, All-Star, we kind of just have to keep it, because way too many games he'll get you 3 steals and 2 blocks. So added 8 rebounds and 3 assists as well. Moving on to the next game, well, we heard the news that Trae Young has been traded to the Wizards. So, and I feel like, it might not be for fantasy purposes, it might not be that great for Trae, because I don't know if they're gonna play him like Chris Middleton or they're gonna play him like CJ McCollum. If they play him like CJ McCollum, that's great, because they would just feed him the ball and let him get all the numbers he could. But then they're also gonna rest him a little bit more, because they have nothing to play for. Unlike the Atlanta Hawks, right? If he's healthy, for sure he's gonna play. Bob Carrington played 39 minutes, had 18 points, but he just 7 assists and 5 threes are good. It just the problem with him in fantasy is he doesn't get you any defensive stats. He's not that efficient, has a bunch of high turnovers, and the numbers that he's giving you, it's not like 8 assists. It's more like 5 assists, which is good. Give you 13, 14 points. Anyway, when Trey comes, he's not really gonna get a lot of minutes. Trey Johnson, on the other hand, 2 threes, 20 points. He's just been really, really good. Maybe with Trey coming here, playing with Trey, you'll get some easy buckets. I think playing with Trey could help Alex Sarr a little bit too, right? Trey really knows how to set him up those lobs, right? And then he can also shoot threes from the outside. He had a good game here too, but Sixers, it's not like they play that much defense. I think, especially with Joel Embiid. But Sixers got the win. Justin Champagnie, I think we could also stream him in the short term. And Bilo Coulibaly had 18 points, but not much else. Yeah, we could also have Bilo Coulibaly. For the Sixers, Paul George, great game, because he played the Wizards sometimes. It's just easy. 4 threes, 23 points. Embiid, he's been playing a lot of minutes, and he hasn't really missed a lot of games in the last 2 weeks. So that's good to see Embiid, just playing. And the Sixers are winning games. Tyrese Maxey, of course, he's carrying the load most of the time. 8 assists, 22 points here. And VJ Edgecombe also popped off with 5 steals. They're just giving the keys to VJ. A lot of minutes. But at the end of the day, he doesn't really give you too much. Maybe a little bit points, a little bit rebound, a little bit assist. Because, he's playing super high minutes, so he's going to get those numbers and then defensive stats. Barlow, they started him. If he gets consistent 30 minutes, he could be a great streaming option. Quentin Grimes had 16 points off the bench. Yeah, I think we can also hold on to Quentin Grimes, mainly for the points and threes. Moving on to the next one. This one is a surprise. The Denver Nuggets beat the Celtics with no Jokic. And Celtics like the number 2 team in the East. Super impressive win. And Jamal Murray, 17 assists is pretty crazy. 22 points, huge game. Jamal Murray is going to be huge for the next month. And, overall this year, he's played well, even, next to Jokic as well. He's a top 15 player. And for the next month, for sure, he's going to stay that way. Christian Braun came back. I don't think he's really fantasy relevant as, yet. So if you want to stream him for a couple games, I don't mind, because, they really need bodies. Peyton Watson popped off, hit 6'3", 6 for 7, 1 steal and 2 blocks. These type of games, I think, hopefully can give him more confidence. Because when Jokic comes back, you're just not going to get this level of usage. But you're going to get some wide open shots and just be ready and knock them down. 4 for 8 from the free throw, I guess, is really the only issue. But he gets you a lot of defensive stats as well. Aaron Gordon came back. If you want to if you want to pick him up first, the next couple games might be rough because he's on a minute restriction coming back from injury. But yeah, he should put up some big numbers, especially with Jokic out too. For the Celtics, Jaylen Brown, 33 points, but took 29 shots to get there. Only got to the line 3 times. Right, actually hit his threes as well, but he was a minus 14. Jaylen Brown, a lot of people say really nice things about him this year. Yes, he's obviously played very, very well, but I watch sometimes when he played, he's still offensively, he can get his buckets, pull up mid-range threes, but overall offensively, right, he's just still not. First of all, the playmaking, right? If we compare him to some of the other guys, the playmakers, the gaps is there. And then you compare him to a scorer like Shea, right? Shea is just way better, way savvier, knows how to get a line. So the offensive gap between Jaylen Brown and some of the top players is huge. The argument you can make, like he said, he's the best two-way player. Maybe. I don't know how good when you put up 29 shots, how much energy do you really have on the defensive end? I'm not sure. But either way, he's playing really good this year. But I just don't think people think he should be an MVP conversation. I think just the gap between him and the other top players are huge. Nemias had 20 rebounds, which is crazy. That's why he needs to be rostered. 10 offensive rebounds, but nothing else. Sam Hauser hit 2 threes. You can stream him for some threes. Peyton Pritchard has just been underwhelming all year. Another bad game, 5 for 13, but got to a line 6 times. That's good. If Peyton Pritchard knows how to get a line like 6 times a game, that's gonna help his fantasy, a lot. Derek White hit 3 threes, but had 3 blocks and 4. The guy just knows how to get blocks. Fernie Simons off the bench had 3 threes and 15 points. Yeah, if the Celtics have a back-to-back, we could stream him for some threes and points. Moving on to the next one, you have the New Orleans Pelicans lost to Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, and that clears the way for Jalen Johnson, of course. And for the Pelicans, Jordan Poole had 0 point the other day. Today he played 38 minutes, had 21 points. So I don't think Jordan Poole needs to be rostered, to be honest, but he's got a big name, so if he goes off, try to sell him. Jeremiah Fairs had 11 points. Is he a must roster? We could stream him. I think definitely not a must roster. Derek Quaid, let's not do anything stupid with him. Play just 18 minutes. This game they give Missy 24 minutes, but in 18 he had 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. They got to give him the keys as we get to the end of the season. Derek Queen is really good in fantasy, just super good, as we can see here. They started some weird lineups. They started Carlo too, but I guess those guys were playing pretty bad, so they just didn't really see a lot of minutes. Zion Williamson goes 10 for 15, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 22 points. I guess be happy that Zion isn't even playing. So, yeah. For the Atlanta Hawks, pretty easy win, and look at these young guys and the defensive stats they're putting up. This game, Okongwu was out, so they still have Porzingis came off the bench. Porzingis, 4 threes, I'm okay. 4 threes, 13 points, is still in the block. Maybe he need more games to ramp up, but that helps Okongwu's value, I think. Okongwu was out, but he should be back. Nothing serious. With Trey now officially out, Nickeil Alexander-Walker should have a big second half anyway. Should be a top 70, top 80 player. A steal in the block here. 3 steals and 2 blocks here. 6 assists, pretty good stuff. Dyson Daniels, pretty good stuff. 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals in a block. And we have Mohamed Gaye, 6 assists, 11 rebounds, 4 steals. Oh my goodness, everybody popped off other than Jalen Johnson. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block, 19 points. So now with Trey officially out, now that they know he's not playing, maybe the opposing defense is really going to lock in on Jalen Johnson. So he's not going to have the opportunity to kind of go off every game to do whatever he wants. So he might regress just a little bit, but especially if the defense adjusts to him. But either way, he should be a top 15 player for the rest of the season. The concern with him, I think, really is just the free throws. 1 for 3 here. Ricochet, 7 for 9. Yeah, he popped off here too. Moving on to the next one, the Magic. Banchero hit a game-winning 3 over the Brooklyn Nets. Pretty wild game, low-scoring game. Banchero has been playing much better as of late, at least in terms of putting up numbers. In terms of contributing to winning, I'm still not sure. He's still a -3 here. 14 rebounds, 6 assists, but he had 9 turnovers. Desmond Bane struggled a little bit, 2 steals and just 9 points, and Anthony Black struggled as well. Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are a fairly decent defensive team, but let's not do anything stupid with Anthony Black. He played 37 minutes, right? He's been balling. Wendell Carter Jr. 20 points, 6. Yeah, he had a good game, and they've been starting Tristan da Silva. I don't think we really need to do anything with him, and I feel like Franz Wagner should be close. He should be close to returning. Noah Panda, this guy, they've been playing this guy some minutes. He actually had 11 rebounds and still in 2 blocks. Maybe pay attention to him a little bit if there's a back-to-back because he could have some streaming value. For Brooklyn Nets, It's just Michael Porter Jr. show. 34 points. He took 18 threes, hit 8 of them. Right? It's actually not a bad idea to just let him fire away 25 shots because he's so efficient. 3 steals, 5 rebounds. Pretty good. Noah Clowney, 2 steals and 2 blocks. Yes. His efficiency is the problem, but the defensive stats, right? The huge minutes, I think he needs to be rostered, of course. And De'Ron Sharp, wow. Claxton came off the bench. I don't think it'll be a long-term thing, but De'Ron Sharp, if you're streaming him, maybe you can just keep him for a game or two more because, right, they're giving Claxton like low minutes. And who knows what type of stuff they would do. And Cam Thomas, like he's ramping up his minutes, 24 minutes here. Yeah, if he's on the waiver wire, definitely pick him up. Who knows, like when they're gonna start giving him 30 minutes? Maybe it's a month from now, right? Maybe he will get traded, but yeah, I think he's got the upside. Once he starts playing 30 minutes, starting minutes, he's gonna take on. He's gonna score. He's gonna take on like a huge usage. Moving on to the next game, we have the Clippers. Yeah, they lost back-to-back games to the Knicks. So the Clippers, they're not out of it. They won a bunch of games. That's good. And Kawhi, of course, is doing Kawhi things. 25 points here, 3 threes and 3 steals, which is very, very good. But the Clippers this year, they do have issues, and maybe Zubac could be a problem. When he was out, they were winning a bunch of games. He came back. He had 8 offensive rebounds, so that's good. John Collins had a decent game, especially shooting the basketball. 3 threes, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Yeah, John Collins right now also needs to be rostered, and Harden struggled a little bit. Still had 23 points because he got to the line 7 times with 9 assists. For the Knicks, they've been losing a lot, so this is a great win for them. Jalen Brunson, 26 points. He shot the ball really well, but he's the -6 here. Cat, even though he went 6 for 18, 20 points, 11 rebounds, but those 7 assists really helped steal in the block. Cat has not been good this year. So if you try, but the thing is, at least on basketballmonster.com, like he's still ranked fairly high, like top 24, despite a bad year so far. But, if you have guys like just really frustrated with him, because he gets into foul trouble a lot, right? A lot of games, it doesn't seem like he did anything. Throw him like a top 40 player. See if they buy, like, try to do a 2-for-1 to get Karl Anthony Towns. I think it's a no-brainer trade. Miles McBride hit 4 threes. That's good. That's still in a block. Actually, yeah, we could stream Miles McBride with Josh Hart out. If they're gonna give him minutes, he hit a lot of threes. You see, he took 11 threes here. OG and Mikal Bridges, they kind of did their thing here as well, so that's good. Moving on to the next one, Phoenix Suns this year, they're just a great team, right? Even though they've been playing really, really well, Devin Booker has not played well at all. 13 points, 8 assists, 2 steals. Actually, like, if you have Devin Booker, you can sell him for a top 20 player. I would. Like, I actually don't see him just, because people might think. Actually, yeah, if you can trade Devin Booker for Karl Anthony Towns, that's something I'll look to do. Or you can trade him for Austin Reeves. I think they're just gonna put up better numbers. The problem with Phoenix is like the rest of the team, they're really offensively challenged. So Devin Booker is just it's just impossible for him to go off because unless the defense, they say, hey, Devin Booker, you can score 50. And it's hard for him to get a lot of assists as well. So it's just maybe when Jalen Green comes back, it could help with the situation a little bit better because Jalen Green can also pop off. But right now, yeah, it's like Devin Booker has to like get rid of the ball and let other guys cook. So Dylan Brooks, of course, had 22 shots, 21 points. It's great. 5 threes. They're winning. Mark Williams, 12 points, 12 rebounds, still in the block. That's also good. Yeah, oh my God, all the guys putting up great numbers. 4 threes for Royce O'Neal, and Colin Gillespie he also needs to be rostered. Not the best game here, but he's been really, really good. And Grayson Allen hit 5 threes. We look at the Grizzlies, and they're just kind of a mess. No Ja Morant, so Cam Spencer needs to be rostered. 5 assists, 2 steals, 4 threes is pretty good in just 27 minutes. Jaren Jackson Jr. at 19, but just looks so empty. Still in the block. And yeah, waiting for Zach Edey to come back. Zach Edey is a must roster, so he should be back in a couple of weeks. All right, moving on to the next one. We have the Utah Jazz barely lost to a Thunder in overtime too. If it wasn't for Shea to hit the tough shot, bring the game to overtime, yeah, they would have lost. So something is going on with the Oklahoma City Thunder last 2 weeks. I don't know why, but yeah, they're clearly not the same team as compared to the beginning of the season. It's a referee or whatever. No idea. Lauri Markkanen 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 threes. Really good game from Lauri. And Yusuf Nurkic, they just continue to feed him big minutes. And of course, he's putting up big numbers: 15 points, 3 steals and block, 4 assists. This is almost prime Yusuf Nurkic. Yeah, and prime Yusuf Nurkic is a great fantasy player. Keontae George, 25 points, 11 assists. Right, the 6 turnovers a little bit, and then 9 for 22. But yeah, still having a great year. And they've been playing Bryce Sensabaugh a lot of minutes. So if you want to stream him for some points and some threes, every once in a while he's going to go for 20. So go at it. For OKC, Shea, of course, big game, 46 points, 17 for 19 from the free throw line. Finally, he's able to get to the line like almost 20 times. 6 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal and block. Speaking of Shea, like a great trade right now would be you trade Kawhi Leonard to get Shea. If you can do that trade, I think that would be good. That you want to get Shea, because Shea hasn't been playing well, and Kawhi has been popping off. For sure, Kawhi has been playing much better than Shea last couple of weeks. But Shea should be much better and should be much healthier too. Chet Holmgren, 23 points, 12 rebounds, also a big game. Added a steal and 3 blocks. Jalen Williams, he's just been underwhelming this year after coming back. I guess it's just hard for him to really find his role on the team, especially offensively, right? I haven't seen him. He's just every game he just take like 13, 14 shots, 15 shots every single game. Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot of guys that can really get buckets. Like AJ Mitchell off the bench, like he need to be rostered. Like he had 16 points, added 3 steals and a block. Like AJ Mitchell has been playing better than Jalen Williams. I almost feel like if given more, the same minutes as him. Aaron Wiggins also, like we could stream him in the short term. Cason Wallace had 4 steals and a block. Yeah, for defensive stats, we could definitely stream him as well. Move on to the next game. We have the Lakers. They lost to the Spurs. No LeBron, no Austin Reeves. Super low scoring game. So Luka, of course, he goes off. That's expected. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists with 2 threes. But oh my God, he goes 10 for 16 from the line. Also added 7 turnovers. Shot the ball okay, but yeah, Luka's got the high turnover is okay, sure. But because you have the ball in your hands literally the entire game, but like Luka's got to work on his free throws. Maybe it's not the thing he can really improve. Maybe he's worked on it. He's been working on it, but yeah, like it's just barely shooting 80%. I think you gotta get up to 85. Marcus Smart, we can stream him if LeBron continues to be out for some threes and assists and steals, of course, 3 steals here. Jake LaRivia, with everybody out, we can stream him, but yeah. But basically, everything is going through Luka. And DeAndre Ayton, 29 minutes versus Wemby, okay. For the San Antonio Spurs, they continue to have Wemby off the bench. He had a great game, like 16 points, 14 rebounds, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. But yeah, I don't know. Why they have him off the bench? Maybe they want to limit his minutes, kind of. Stephon Castle had a decent game with 15 points, 2 steals and block, and De'Aaron Fox a little bit underwhelming. That's the problem with De'Aaron Fox is like when everybody is healthy, there'll be games like this. He's not the first option. He still kind of did. He took 14 shots, but he's just not averaging the numbers he would average without Wemby. And I think that's expected. I feel like De'Aaron Fox and Wemby, they don't do a lot of pick and roll together. So maybe that's something they need to work together a little bit more, maybe offensively. Harrison Barnes played 30, didn't really do much, and Champagne played 33. I think with Devin Vassell out, like Champagne could be rostered. And how about Keldon Johnson? 27 points and 2 threes. He's also always a great streamer for some rebounds and some points. He went off here. All right. 2 more games. We have the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Warriors 130-120. Great win for the Warriors. And, there were a lot of trade talks about Giannis. Now it kind of quiet down a little bit. We'll see where Giannis is going. Trey got traded pretty quickly. 34 points, 10 rebounds for Giannis. That's great. 5 assists. He did all that in just 30 minutes. Kevin Porter Jr. played huge minutes. If Giannis gets traded and they don't get back like a point guard, Porter Jr. is going to be top 20, top 25 player, because he's going to give you a lot of assists. And this year he's shooting the free throw really, really well. He's going to average 20 points. He's going to get you a bunch of defensive stats, right? The only concern is a lot of turnovers and bad efficiency. But so far he hasn't been that. 9 assists, 15 rebounds, pretty good. Ryan Rollins, with Kevin Porter Jr. back, he's, definitely took a hit, but still, solid enough. And Miles Turner plays just 24 minutes. We look at the Warriors. They're also a team that just feel like they can't really compete with anyone, and then they can't really beat anyone. 31 points from Steph Curry. That's good. Jimmy Butler I feel like Jimmy needs to be more aggressive. 21 points on 15 shots is okay, but he's going to be more aggressive. Draymond, 14 points, 7 assists, 3 threes. Also pretty decent, but he was a -10. Moving on to the last game of the night, we have the Houston Rockets actually lost to the Portland Trailblazers on the road with no Şengün. KD went off with 37 points, but you see how, this is a big difference between guys like KD and Kawhi even, versus guys like Luka or LeBron or Jokic. I mean, I guess KD just, you don't see Luka just have 0 assists. You just don't see that happening. So the role they play on offense is just completely different. When KD get the ball, he's got one-on-one. He's not thinking about setting up his teammate or passing. He's just like, okay, I gotta get a bucket. If I get doubled, I would just try to pass. If I see something open, I just pass it to him. That kind of mentality or the playmaking ability is just not on the same level as some of the other guys. So that's always been a problem with KD. It's just like when you watch him play, yes, you just look at him play, yeah, it looks good. 37 points, 2 threes, 54%. But, he's a -3. You're getting all the buckets you can, but you're not setting up your team. That type of stuff. Taro Eason, 5 for 18, struggled, but absolutely must roster. Amen Thompson had a decent game, but goes 7 for 11 from the free throw line. Steven Adams, we could definitely stream him for at least some rebounds in the short term. And Jabari Smith Jr. also struggled massively. Yeah, Şengün shouldn't be out for too long. But, KD should be having a great week or two. A lot of usage. Too bad they couldn't get it down first. And Reed Shepherd, it's hard to hold on to him. It's really hard. I'll play just 21 minutes here. For Portland, Danny Advia, man. Not a lot of people talk about him, but he's putting out some crazy numbers. He knows how to get to the line too. Got to the line 15 times. 41 points, 2 threes. Not much else, but yeah. Kamara actually is a +10, team best +10. 14 points, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Huge game from him. And Donovan Killigan struggled a little bit. Only 7 rebounds and a block. But, I wouldn't worry too much. And he hit 2 threes as well. Shannon Sharp, 3 threes, 20 points. And Caleb Love continues to get some minutes off the bench. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists is okay. So, he's somebody that we could definitely stream if their schedule is good. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.